Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Aha. Can I just get a feel quickly? How many people in the room genuinely understood what Jacques was talking about now? Okay, cool. How many people in the room, and that's not a reflection of you, Jacques, I'm trying to read the audience, right? Yeah, how many people in the room influence or are involved in designing infrastructure for compute or storage or artificial intelligence solutions? Okay, cool. How many people know the people that is on the screen? Should we just talk about rugby rather? Yeah, it's something I know a little bit about. A little bit. So, to get these solutions to work in our country, right, we're going to need a willing team. I think in the keynote speakers earlier, we heard about collaboration. We heard about, and the only way that we're going to achieve some of this high-end compute solutions, some of the GPU solutions on our continent is that the expertise needs to come out of our country. The Americans are going to invest in Americans, and I work for an American company called Supermicro. The people from the East are going to invest in the East, so the people from Africa must invest in Africa. So what we need to do is we need to steal the knowledge from the companies that we work for and use it in our country. So I'm not even going to talk much about Supermicro. Can I just get a show of hands who knows anything about Supermicro? A little bit. I think hopefully there's a little bit more than last year. Last year I asked the question and the guys didn't have a clue. Now we've had some bad publicity and now everyone knows us, so that's cool. So more bad, and they say any news is good news. From a Supermicro perspective, we're a manufacturer of compute and storage hardware. That's what we do. So we build servers. We build servers that can do compute, that can do storage. We got a networking range. And obviously I have to say something about artificial intelligence. So my wife is not in the tech industry in any way. But she says, we've been married for 29 years and she's been dealing with artificial intelligence for 29 years. Because every bit of intelligence I have is clearly artificial in my wife's eyes. So I think from a Supermicro perspective, we're a manufacturer. We'd like to say we proudly, we have been the largest the fastest growing computing manufacturer for many, many years. Our headquarters in America. We manufacture now out of America. We manufacture out of the East. We're busy building in Malaysia. We will be manufacturing out of Mexico soon. And I want us to be manufacturing out of Africa, Southern Africa somewhere. So we need to sell lots of stuff together so that we can manufacture in our country. We do have a huge range of hardware that can accommodate various types of needs, right? Whether it's on the edge, whether it's in the data center. We have, I think, arguably the largest range of types of servers, 1U, 4U, twins. We can do, we believe that we're the leader in manufacturing of server equipment. We also believe that we are far behind in terms of how well we market because we are a shocking marketing company, right? But what we do very, very well. Much like the Springboks, what they do very, very well. And sometimes the opposition don't like what the Springboks do. They don't like the bomb squad. They'll moan about the bomb squad. They'll say that's not according to the rules. Sometimes what Supermicro do, we do so well that our opposition will moan about us and say, hey, are those the rules? We'll play it by ear. We work very, very closely with NVIDIA. We work very, very closely with Intel. We work very, very closely with AMD. Those are all the chip manufacturers, right? So the CPU, the GPU manufacturers, we work closely with them. We go first to market with most of them. And so when AMD have something new, when NVIDIA have something new, when the Intel guys have something new, inevitably they're working with us to say, what can we house something new in? Because the accelerator is just accelerator. It needs to be housed, obviously, in a casing, and that's where Supermicro come in. And inevitably, we're first to market with that. We're proud to say that. Obviously, we've done some fantastic things in the GPU space. I think it's the largest machine, the GPU machine called the Colossus. We did that in America. It's the XAI version, powered by Mr. Musk. Whether we like him or not, he's done some fantastic things. What he's going to do with this new fancy machine, we don't really know yet. I think we'll wait and see. But if you are in our plenary, if you are in the tech shootout, I'm going to talk a bit about Colossus itself and what we did and how Supermicro managed to do what we did. So I'm not going to go into that. What I want to say is, if we have a need in this country, if you have a need for any kind of hardware, any kind of storage, if you are not representing Supermicro, you may not be representing the most cost-effective, the best solution. I'm not saying that we will be. That I can't say that. But I'm saying if there isn't a Supermicro offer on the table, then you might not be getting the best offer on the table. So please just put that in your memory bank to ask about Supermicro somewhere down the line. Because a lot of trusted brands, both internationally, I'm going to skip off the international one, but a lot of the trusted brands have done that, and have done that by saving money, quick deployment, and really good solutions, value for money solutions. So some of the, just while we're talking, just some of the local brands that buy a lot of Supermicro have bought Supermicro. We're very grateful for them to do so, and we hope they continue to do so. But for that to happen, obviously Supermicro need a good channel into the country, and we're proud to be associated with Pinnacle, who I'm going to ask Rael in a couple of minutes to come up and talk about Pinnacle, because we're a manufacturer, and a part of our winning team, a part of our collaboration is to be able to get that product into the country, get it into the country efficiently, quickly, and then be able to add value to that product. And I'm going to speak 2 minutes about that. So that very same Jar Fasaki that you just saw now, he actually works for Pinnacle, right? So everything he said about Dell is absolutely irrelevant. But we're working very closely with the Pinnacle AI team, because we understand that we've got some very good solutions that Supermicro can offer in terms of providing AI solutions. We also understand that there's a need for it. But what we know, there is a gap between the need and how it gets fulfilled and actually works. And with the Pinnacle AI team and Supermicro, we are out there offering those kind of consultative discussions so that we can understand what is your need, how can we get you to solve your need? Because there's a gap. And with Pinnacle and ourselves, we're working very closely together in the country to be able to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Rael, let him talk a bit about Pinnacle, and I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit about Pinnacle AI, because I think that's the buzzword. Well, it's not the buzzword. That's what we have to be doing in this country at the moment, and we need the expertise in this room to be able to unfold those solutions. Thank you very much, Rael. You might have to just mic.
Doesn't help being so short. Huh? Okay. Thanks for everybody's time. I really appreciate it. To be honest with you, I literally saw these slides about 3 minutes ago. Thanks, Roger, for throwing me under the bus. Yeah, thanks very much. So my name is Rael Solon. I've had the privilege of working for Pinnacle for the past 17 years. I actually started doing Supermicro as my first brand, and Pinnacle has been the longest established distributor for Supermicro in South Africa. We've done the distribution for approximately 20 years, of which I've done it for about 17 years, and I'm proud to say I've sold about 60,000 servers into the Western Cape alone. So we've got a very large footprint of Supermicro servers, not only in the Western Cape, but in South Africa. And on the slide that Roger showed earlier today, it shows a very big presence into research, into education. We've got a very large footprint selling into a lot of the universities, as well as the CSIR and the CHPC. So who is Pinnacle? Pinnacle is a value-added distributor that's been around since 1993. So we're very well established in South Africa. We also have an African division as well. So we're quite heavily entrenched selling into the SADC region, as well as recently more into North Africa. So Pinnacle is part of Alviva Holdings. We were a listed company on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, but about 2 years ago we went private. I would say about 40% of all ICT spend in South Africa is coming through the Alviva group of companies. So I'm from Pinnacle. We form part of the ICT distribution portion of the business, which consists of Tarsus Technologies as well as Access. We don't only have a distribution business, we've got a whole lot of solution type businesses as well, with companies like Merlin, which is an AI-based business out of the US, Centrix, which is a company that monitors anything that's got an IP address, and then obviously we've got solar companies as well as companies specializing in Sage ERP. So I form part of a division called PINES, Pinnacle Enterprise Solutions. Within my portfolio, I have about 19 different types of enterprise brands. From an x86 perspective, I look after Supermicro as well as Dell Enterprise. When it comes to the networking portfolio, we look after Alcatel-Lucent, Ruckus. From a storage perspective, we've got multiple brands when it comes to backup. We've got brands like Commvault, we've got brands like Haiku, and brands like Acronis. So what sets Pinnacle and our Pinnace division apart from our competitors, especially in the distribution space, is we offer something called cross-platform solution selling, which basically means we can go to a reseller, we can go to an end customer, and we can put an end-to-end solution together, whether it's x86, whether it's storage, whether it's backup, whether it's cybersecurity. So typically, if you went to one of our distributors, one of our competitors, they would have a specialist who just would be a Dell specialist or just be an HPE specialist. But those products might not be best of breed. Yes, Dell might be the best for x86 or Supermicro, but they might not be the best for cybersecurity. So we can take everything in our portfolio, put a complete solution together, and rubber stamp it that all these different types of products, all these different brands will holistically all work together. What's very, very important and what we're extremely proud of, we are definitely a level 1 BEE contributor. We have been for many, many years. We're more than 52% black female owned. And one other thing that's very, very important, we've got a huge amount of resellers that currently buy from Pinnacle. We have more than 3,000 resellers on our books, more than 300 resellers who play in the government and the national space, as well as we are very strong in provincial government, as well as national government. And we recently we're proud to say that we've recently turned 30 years old, but that was a few years ago, Roger. You need to update the slide. And that's it from me. Thanks very much.